Looking at problem 3, we are going to multiply the binomials. So there is an order with multiplying binomials. You do the first terms, then the outer terms, then the inner, and then the last. That's one way to think of it. You might have heard or remembered that people use the word FOIL. What I usually think of it is kind of like what the previous two problems were, where you distribute each first group into the second group. So I usually take the first term and I multiply it into the second parentheses. So I distribute. That's how I think of it. But it's the same order as first, then the outer, then the inner, then the last. All right, so when you multiply, we're adding exponents. So these are like terms. So I have m. Well, how many m's do I have? I have 1 plus 1, 2. Now multiply the m with the negative 8. M times negative 8 is negative 8m. Then take the second term and multiply it into the second parentheses. So 7 times m is plus 7m. And then 7 times 8 is negative 56. Well, I'm not done because look in the middle. You will always have, when you're multiplying binomials or trinomials, you'll always have like terms in the middle. Now it's just adding and subtracting. So we're not doing anything with exponents. Think simple. Adding and subtracting is simple. Literally add and subtract the front numbers. So I have negative 8 plus 7, so that's negative 1m, or just negative m, and then bring down the negative 56. All right, let's try another one. So you can use FOIL or distribute, however works best for your learning style. So I'm going to take this 2u and multiply it with everything in the second group. So 2 times 2 is 4. Now, how many u's do I have? I have 1 plus 1. So I have u squared. Then multiply it with the v. So 2 times 1 is positive 2. And then u v. Now multiply negative v with 2u. So negative 2u v. And then negative, how many v's do I have? V squared. Now for these two middle terms, we just listed them because u and v are not like terms. So you put them next to each other because when things are next to each other, they're connected through multiplication. All right, well, we're still not done. Bring down your 4u2. Now look in the center. Are there like terms? Yes, u and v. So we need to simplify the like terms. We're not doing anything with exponents because it's just addition and subtraction. So 2 minus 2 is 0, so they actually canceled out. So just bring down the v squared. The middle's canceled out. All right, so number 5. This time we're multiplying a binomial with a trinomial, but the same steps. So FOIL, that's why I wanted to introduce kind of that distribute mindset because FOIL really doesn't work with a trinomial. So I'm going to take the first term, the x, and I'm going to multiply it in the second parentheses. So x times x squared, where we're multiplying, so that means you need to add your exponents. How many exponents do I have? 1 plus 2, x cubed. Now multiply x with negative 2x squared. So negative 2, how many x's do I have? 1 plus 1, so I have 2 x's. Then multiply the x with the positive 6, so 6x. Now let's do the negative 5. So I'm going to take negative 5 and I'm going to do the same thing. Multiply it into all the second parenthesis. So negative 5 times x squared, negative 5x squared. And I'm writing it under its like term, so it'll be easy to combine like terms. Or you can write it all the way across and then combine like terms. So -5 times -2x. So that's a positive 10x. And then -5 times 6. So -30. So I'm going to bring down that x cubed. And then I'm going to combine like terms. Remember, we're just adding and subtracting. So do nothing with the exponents. So I have -2 minus 7. So -2 minus 5 is -7. Bring down your x squared. 6 plus 10 is 16. Bring down your x and then bring down your -30. And you could have got the same number by listing it all the way across and then combining like terms. All right, number 6. When something is squared, that means it's written out twice. So there's 2 of these. So before you do anything, you need to write this out twice. Right? Because when x is squared, that's really x times x. So that's what we're doing. 7y plus 1 is squared, so that means it's written out twice. Now it looks like FOIL or distribute what we've been working on. So let's solve it. So take the 7y and multiply it into the second group. 7 times 7 is 49. How many y's do I have? I have 2 y's. So y squared. 7y times 1 is positive 7y. And then I'm going to take the 1 and multiply it in with the second group. So 1 times 7y is 7y. 1 times 1 is 1. We're not finished. You always need to combine like terms. We're done with adding exponents. We're not going to add exponents anymore. You're just going to look at the first numbers and add and subtract. So 7 plus 7 is positive 14. Bring down your y and then bring down your positive 1.